I would like to call this village board meeting of Thursday, February 15, 2024 to order. Will Clerk Schmidt please take the roll?
Mayor Coker,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt,
Here.
Trustee Siddiqui,
Here.
Trustee Light,
Here.
Trustee Meritato,
Here.
Trustee Pojek,
Here.
Trustee Schroeder.
Please stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Schmidt, please.
Mr. Mayor, before we start, I want to read something in front of everybody. The statement by the board is to show support and 100% confidence in Chief of Police George Pappas and the men and women of the Glendale Heights Police Department. Shortly after the conclusion of the village board meeting on February 1st, members of the village board heard a large conversation between indicted Mayor Chadwick Coker and Chief Pappas. During the conversation, village board members heard indicted Mayor Coker tell Chief Pappas he never wants to speak to him again. After the February 3rd coffee with the mayor, indicted mayor, board members were informed by people in attendance. A resident during a conversation with indicted Mayor Coker said he does not even trust our police department. The elected trustees and the village clerk want Chief Pappas and the members of the Glendale Heights Police Department to know that we support you 100% and have completed complete confidence in the effort put in each and every day by our law enforcement professionals. The entire Board of Trustees want you to remove yourself as indicted mayor immediately. Thank you.
Number one, I love all my departments and I love my village police department. I have no ill will against any employee of my village, Glendale Heights. Number one. Number two, I feel shame when I'm sitting among thief and thug who have been robbing this village for decades. And that is true, is documentary proof. If you want, I can start from trustee number one, his wife. She shows up whenever her husband wants. Number two, she's getting $5,000 doing nothing. Trustee number two, his brother-in-law.
Cricket. Go ahead, cricket.
His brother-in-law was getting cricket for
yeah.
no money.
Cricket.
And the bid came
Cricket.
when he was last time he paid $10,000 and bid
I
came
think every resident
$120,000.
now remember
Let me
all
speak,
this. Yeah.
you can speak after me. Trustee number three, his wife is also here and she has also problem. And when I took oath, he was the first person who
Okay.
was coming physical on me.
Can we get to the order of business, please?
Yeah,
We really need to
let
get
me-
the board meeting moving.
Trustee number four, Maritato,
Let
his
me
whole
speak, let
family
me
is on the village payroll. Next trustee Pojok, he's getting free gift card, free food from store, and he's a racist person.
I won that at a raffle.
And trustee, that's a
Oh my gosh.
Schroeder, her son is working, is running business without permit.
This guy's
And
sick. This man is sick,
this
sick,
is
sick.
for shit on you.
You can't erase stupidity.
shit on
Okay.
you.
Can we just get to the business of the meeting, please?
Yes.
No, I just want to make one statement. I know you're blabbing off, but there's no way in hell that anybody's gonna talk about our police chief or our police department. That's never, ever gonna happen. On my second note, I'm talking. On my second note, we're 100% behind Doug Flint. All his department heads and all his employees underneath him This village, this board is 100% for every one of them.
I am here.
And I'll end that with
Let
that.
me speak, answer to this guy, you know. I am here
This
as
guy-
long as my
This
kids
guy,
are
you
in the
call me
court,
Mr. Meritato,
those
not
are
this
in the
guy.
court. And,
Let's start the
Number
village
one, number
meeting,
two.
please. Mayor.
as
you have
long
enough.
as my, majority of my village, they want, I will be serving you.
It's not your
I did
village.
not steal village money, I did not fraud anybody, you know. I'm doing the best of
Bill,
my.
Bill, why don't you start, okay, start reading, what you're supposed to do now, okay? We gotta get going.
Community announcements, let's go.
We'll continue this at committee to hold.
We'll address it.
You started.
Okay, the Glendale Heights Police Department is cooling down for the annual Polar Plunge. Support our officers in the Polar Plunge as they raise funds for Special Olympics Illinois. In order to donate, please visit the village website at www.glendaloheights.org. Officers Pugh and Sheehan are both participating in the Super Plunge, while 12 other officers are completing one-time plunges. If you have any questions or you would like to make a donation, please contact the Glendale Heights Police Department's non-emergency number at 630-260-6070. Starting in mid-March, the Village of Glendale Heights will be resurfacing West Fullerton Avenue from Schmale Road to Bloomingdale Road. This work will include roadway resurfacing, sidewalk and curb improvements, storm sewer repairs, and pavement marking replacement. This project is anticipated to be completed in late June, and there may be parking restrictions during this time frame. The general contractor for this project is K5 Construction Corporation with oversight by Christopher B. Burke Engineering Ltd. If you have any questions, please contact the project engineer, Andrew Bork, at 224-500-0019. Thank you. Are you interested in gardening, flowers, and greenery? Look no further than Glendale Heights Garden Club. On the first Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m., come by the Sports Hub and join other gardening enthusiasts to learn about gardening. Make new friends, share tips, and watch our community bloom this spring. For more information, please contact Sports Hub at 630-260-6060. Spring is right around the corner, so register today for Spring Outdoors Soccer. The regular season runs from April 13th through June 1st with 5 different grade levels. Register for the early bird fee before February 19 for a reduced rate. For more information or to register for Spring Outdoor Soccer, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060.
Hey, better. Register today for Glendale Heights Youth Baseball and Softball. We're having 6 different leagues ranging from My First T-Ball to Pony Leagues. Practices begin in April as the weather will allow. Early registration ends March 4th, so register before then to get the best price. For more information, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060. The Glendale Heights Police Department and Village of Glendale Heights wants you to always remember, if you see something, say something. Although we do our best to be out and about in the community, we cannot be everywhere at once. This is why we rely upon you, the residents, the Village of Glendale Heights, the residents of Village of Glendale Heights, to let us know what's happening. If you see something that is suspicious, please do not hesitate to call 911 and let an officer investigate the matter. If you have any questions, please contact the Village of Glendale Heights Police Department non-emergency number at 630-260-6070. And I always add it, remember, Facebook's not a place to spout about it. Please call the police department if you see something. Thank you.
Please.
Register today for the village's new e-newsletter. On the first Monday of each month, we will email you information regarding the month ahead with news from the Village of Glendale Heights, various programs, events, and other important information. To register, please visit the village website at www.glendaleheights.org. If you have any questions, please contact the village's Public Relations Division at 630-909-5350. The next coffee and chat with the village president will be Saturday, March 2nd at the Linda Jackson Center for Senior Citizens from 10 a.m. to noon. If you are unable to attend and have any comments, suggestions, or questions for the village president or village board, please call the village president's office anytime at 630-909-5302 or call your district trustee.
Trustee Moritato, please.
Register today for the mother-son dance or the daddy-daughter dance. Be ready to have the time of your life at our medieval times themed dances. Enjoy activity-filled evenings complete with dinner and dessert. The mother-son dance will be Friday, February 23rd from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and the daddy-daughter dance will be Saturday, February 24th from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Glendale Lakes Golf Club. Please register by February 19th. The registration fee is $75 for residents, $85 for non-residents, and $35 for each additional child. For more information, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060. The Village of Glendale Heights will be hosting an informational meeting to engage and discuss with the public the expiration of our current water rates and the future of water rates for the next 5 years. We invite the public to attend so that we can directly answer any of their questions. Please join us Thursday, March 7th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Allman Clubhouse. Additional meetings may occur, so please visit our website at www.glendaleheights.org for any updates. Now, I do have one thing to say. We had our first meeting tonight, Doug,
We did.
and, I mean, how many people do we have show up?
Nobody from the public showed up,
Okay, well, I encourage
other than the 3 residents that were part of our committee.
anybody that wants to know about these water rates and how we're going about getting them going, and you have any questions, I mean, come to the meetings. We'll have people here to answer any questions that anybody needs to know. Alrighty, thank you.
Trustee Borjo.
The police department would like to remind residents of the parking regulations within the village during snowfall. There is no parking allowed on village streets designated as a snow route for 24 hours after snowfall of 1 inch or more. There is no parking allowed on any village street for 24 hours after snowfall of 2 inches or more. And there is no parking allowed on any village street for 72 hours after snowfall of 5 inches or more. If you have any questions regarding winter parking restrictions, please contact the Glendale Heights Police Department's non-emergency number at 630-260-6070.
Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board meeting or agenda item?
We have one more board announcement.
You forgot Mary.
Oh, Mary Shorter.
Okay. Senior citizens age 65 or older are encouraged to apply for the Senior Citizens Utility Tax Rebate Program. Qualifying applicants will receive a $75 rebate check as part of the program if they meet the following guidelines, which are age 65 or better on or before December the 31st, 2023, or have a spouse who is age 65. And if you've lived in Glendale Heights for all of 2023 as either an owner or a renter, if you have earned no more than $45,000 of gross income during 2023, and you have utilities billed and paid in their name. Applications are being accepted now through April the 30th. If you have any questions, please contact the Linda Jackson Center for Senior Citizens at 630-260-6050 or the Finance Department at 630-260-6000. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on an agenda item only? Please state your name and your address.
Here, Rebecca, Little Heights. Just on new business number 6, what was the amount that was awarded to an ex-employee?
Is that mic working? Because I can hardly hear it.
Okay, I don't think it is.
I think that'll be brought up when.
Yeah, that's under new business.
Okay,
That's gonna be brought up later.
that'll be brought up later?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Michael Ontiveros, a resident of Glendale Heights. I want to welcome everybody on Zoom and those in attendance today. Thank you for coming out today. We need your support. We need better numbers than this, though. I'd like to see more residents participate. I want to echo my sentiments with the statements made by the Village Board of Trustees. I have been and will continue to be an advocate for our police department, specifically you, Chief of Police George Pappas. On the agenda, under new business, line item 6. An ordinance ratifying the execution of a settlement agreement and a release by and between Nicole Lewis and the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. Would you, Chaudhry Coker, in front of me and in front of the residents here in the chambers and those on Zoom, just what amount did the Village of Glendale Heights pay Ms. Lewis due to your malicious actions?
Mr. Duck?
I'm asking you, sir.
No, I don't know. I don't have it.
You don't know the number. You wrote the check. Didn't you sign the check?
I do a lot of signing.
No.
I don't remember, every
Okay.
amount.
Mr. Flynn, if you want to answer the question.
The total settlement amount was $277,000.
In the last board meeting, by your own admission, Chaudhry, you stated there is another lawsuit forthcoming, and it's on record. Would you please elaborate on the specifics of that lawsuit?
We have not been served with a separate lawsuit.
Okay, well, the residents of Village of Glendale Heights need to know the answer. So when it does come to fruition, would you please let us know? In a previous board meeting, we were also told by the audit agency overseeing the village financials, 9 insurance agencies refused to provide a policy due to one individual. That individual, without being named, we know is you. So the next question I have for the Board of Trustees, and Doug Flynn, who's doing a great job as our acting village administrator, what is our exposure going to be if we are involved in another lawsuit, let alone a settlement? Where does the money come from?
Now I'll answer. I don't know that we know that answer until we get served with a suit. We're not served with a suit yet.
Okay, but out of the 9 agencies that had turned us down, did we find an agency for this individual, for liability?
Yes.
And at what cost did it cost the taxpayer? Because I know the premiums had to have gone up considerably.
There was I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but there was a considerable increase in the premium for that line of insurance.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else from public?
Hi, my name is Charles Wozniak. I live
Mr. Wozniak, at committee of the whole, you'll be able to talk.
Okay.
Next meeting.
Next. Anybody else?
10 minutes.
None? Okay. You have the consent agenda before you. Would acting village administrator, Dr. Flynn, please read the consent agenda?
Thank you, Mayor. Consent agenda: 1, approval of the regular board meeting minutes of February 1st, 2024. 2, approval of the committee of the whole meeting minutes February 1st, 2024. 3, approval of the accounts payable listing of February 15th, 2024 in the amount of $2,802,831.41. 4, resolution authorizing the execution of an electric utility service agreement from February 1st, 2024 count. 5, resolution to approve and authorize the execution of agreement between the Village of Glendale Heights and Christopher B. Burke Engineering for their professional engineering, construction engineering services for the Fleet Services Building Generator Improvement Project. 6, resolution to authorize the execution of agreement for professional engineering services for the wastewater treatment primary clarifiers rehabilitation project. 7, resolution to approve and authorize the execution of professional auditing services agreement by and between Crow LLP and the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. 8, a resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award and authorizing the execution of a contract for paint removal for the zero depth pool and plunge pool at the GH2O Aquatic Center. 9, motion to approve pay request number 5 to Butler Construction Company for the water supplies facility rehabilitation, total amount not to exceed $157,450.50. 10, motion to approve pay request number 5 to Trotter Associates for the Mill Pond Lift Station improvements, total amount not to exceed $88,200. 11 is approval of consent items.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Trustee Schmidt.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second, Trustee Light.
Second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Siddiqui,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. Old business, there is none. A motion to waive first reading on new business items number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Is there a motion to waive first reading on new business item 2 to 6? Trustee Schroeder.
So moved.
Trustee Schmidt.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Siddiqui,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
The motion to waive first reading on new business item 2 through 6 is approved. Number 2, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a first amendment to the redevelopment agreement by and between ML Realty Partner LLC and the Village of Glendale Heights, LNI. Request to waive first reading ordinance 2024-09. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-09? Trustee Smith.
So moved.
Second, Trustee Light.
Second.
Discussion? None?
So I know the board had some questions earlier about this. Our attorney Brian Bowes here, if you have any further questions about this topic or maybe just a further explanation of what this agreement is.
I wouldn't mind, I mean, public, I'm sure would like it too.
Brian, you want a brief explanation, please? Thank you.
Brief, you get 2 seconds.
Make this as quick as
4.
possible. So currently, the redevelopment agreement by and between the village and the developer requires that the village issue 2 TIF notes to the developer, and now the developer has requested that those 2 TIF notes just be consolidated into 1. So that's what this amendment does.
And one's moving from non-taxable to taxable?
Correct. As it's structured now, there would be 1 tax exempt note and 1 taxable note, and the developer's just requesting 1 taxable note. So.
Okay. Works for me.
Any question from board? None? Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank you, Brian.
A roll call, please.
Trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Siddiqui.
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2024-09 is approved. Number 3, an ordinance authorizing the Village of Glendale Heights, DuPage County, Illinois, to borrow funds from the Water Pollution Control Loan Program and repealing Village of Glendale Heights Ordinance 2023-16, project number 2, request to waive first reading ordinance 2024-10. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-10? I need motion for that.
Which one was that?
Trustee Smith,
So moved.
Three.
Trustee Light.
Second.
Discussion. None. Roll call vote.
I have.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
I really don't like borrowing money from the water department. I remember once we borrowed it, and I don't think we ever put it back. This was many, many, many years ago. But we have a general fund, can't we borrow from that?
That's not. Rachel, you wanna answer this?
No. Pardon?
This is borrowing from our loan program that we have already established with the state. And we've already have these loans established. Peter, this is a redo of a loan, right?
Correct.
Could you explain the need to repeal the prior ordinance?
I could not tell you that because I do not. Brian can. Double duty.
That's why I hung around.
Hello again, Brian.
So this is a low-interest loan from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. The village previously authorized a low-interest loan for this project number 2. That was done by the ordinance that's being repealed. Since that time, there have been additional costs for the project to the amount of $3 million. So this ordinance increases the amount of the loan that the village could ultimately get from the state for this project.
This is already an established loan that we have that we're redoing.
Yeah.
Right, so we've already taken all the loans out to pay for the projects at the water pollution control facility. So this is a redo of one of those loans.
All right, thank you.
Following question, do we have to pay interest on that loan? How much?
They're 1% loans.
Anyone else? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes,
trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Siddiqui.
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2024-10 is approved. I believe that was done. Number 4, an ordinance to amend chapter 4 entitled General Traffic Provisions of Title 7 entitled Motor Vehicle and Traffic of the Village Code of the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. Request to waive first reading ordinance 2024-11. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-11? Trustee Light.
So moved.
Second, I need second motion for that. Trustee Smith.
Second.
Discussion. Yes, go ahead.
George, this is more or less just a housekeeping for updating.
There's a few parts to it. One of the things are if a oversized load or an overweight load, if they need to take down traffic utilities, they have to pay for that. If they need to pay for traffic control, Public Works needs to assist, Police Department needs to assist, they need to pay for that. If landscaping, the second part of it, if landscaping vehicles, instead of paying daily to do landscaping work, they can pay for the seasonal part of it. So there's a few different things on there. There's also one that's cleaning up like, for international shipping, we had to match the ordinance to match the state law. So there's
Okay.
3 basic things of it.
All right, perfect, thank you.
Yes.
Chief, while you're on the subject of traffic, what's status with the bridge? Is that gonna be starting next year or this year or what?
We just actually received information this week that it would probably be starting in the fall with site work and that.
You got rid of the bats now?
No idea, but
Okay.
Work there would be starting sometime in the fall.
So the bridge will be closed then? right?
No.
No, one lane each direction.
One lane, okay.
It's my understanding as of today.
Gonna be a lot of traffic backed up.
Yeah.
It'll be a tough winter.
Okay.
Anybody else? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes?
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2024-11 is approved. Number 5, an ordinance authorizing the sale of surplus personal property owned by the Village of Glendale Heights, LNI 2009 Ford Crown Victoria vehicle. Request to waive first reading ordinance 2024-12. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-12? Trustee Smith,
So moved.
Trustee Light.
Second.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2024-12 is approved.
We haven't voted.
Yeah, you still need a roll call.
We have not voted on it.
Oh,
Need,
discussion is done,
Go so
discussion?
fast.
Any discussion?
You didn't ask for discussion.
Oh, I'm asking your discussion.
None.
None? A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes?
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2024-12 is approved. Number 6, an ordinance ratifying the execution of a settlement agreement and release by and between Nicole Lewis and the Village of Glendale Heights, LNI. Request to waive first reading ordinance 2024-13. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-13? Trustee Light.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Yes.
This is what you were just referring to, Doug, correctly, that you were just answering Mike?
Yes.
About the.
I was mistaken, it was 247, not
I was
277.
gonna ask about that, because I thought it was a 247 mark. And this is just to ratify the final, we're done, we're out of this particular,
Yeah, the agreement's already been settled between the insurance company and the respondent, and this is the,
just a ratification.
just the ratification of it by the board.
absolutely friggin' disgusting to have it happen at all. I'm just past my point, I'm just,
Trustee Smith, please, go ahead.
How many people were involved in this lawsuit from the village side?
I'm not sure I understand.
He's asking
Okay,
who the
how
who the
many people
defendants
were mentioned as being respondents to the, were there complaints against in the lawsuit?
Several people were mentioned by the respondent, throughout the body of her complaint.
Bill, you're just asking who the defendants were?
Yes.
I think that's what he's asking.
So the defendant
The village?
was the village mayor,
And only?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
No, there were 6 to 8 defendants in that complaint.
There was many other people mentioned in the complaint. The suit was only brought against one person, not 6.
But they were mentioned also.
There was other people mentioned in the complaint.
So, my question is, what did the mayor, indicted mayor, said to this employee that she brought up this suit? I mean,
Well, I don't know
That's-
that we wanna,
it's not
I'm
a
gonna
single-
rehash that here.
It's not a single answer question.
No.
I mean, the people really want to know. I mean, so, okay, let me rephrase my question. If the mayor don't comment or shut his mouth, then we could have avoided this lawsuit.
Ask your brother-in-law who filed lawsuit against.
Again, brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that- you don't want to talk
This is
about that.
$247,000 we are talking
and
about.
that case was
Look
dismissed.
at his seriousness.
That case was dismissed.
Look at his seriousness. This is your money. This is taxpayers, your money. That's how we are spending this money, because he could not shut his mouth. Yeah, he could not just shut his mouth. So I know what did he say, but I don't have a liberty to say it in the public. But if I mention that, even a fifth grader wouldn't comment those kind of comments which he made to that employee. Even the fifth grader has this sense that those are so insensitive comments that I really cannot even say it in public, and what's the result? 247 and counting, because this is not the end. I'm telling you, this is not the end. There is another one coming, so keep counting. This is your money which we are spending here for what? Not on roads, not on anything. Whenever I say, he always brought up cricket. I remain abstain in voting for the cricket. I have nothing to do with cricket. He insulted people, he insulted their wives, their family. That's all he does. He doesn't even know how to conduct a meeting. He forget, nothing. What's his plan for the next year? Ask him. What's going on in the village? Nothing. He doesn't know anything. And if you say anything, he will insult you, he will call you loser, he will call you racist, he will go after your family, he will go after your wives. Yeah, after your wives, even though they are employee and they are protected, but no, he will go after you. He doesn't care.
This is catharsis, this is a personal issue he has against me. He never talk about issues, he talk on personality.
I am the only one who talks
I'm
about the
sorry,
issues.
I'm not coming on this level.
Oh,
The
look at
level
this.
you have, I'm sorry, I cannot come on that. Thank you very
And
much.
let me also tell you, when he said that he does not borrow, I am the one who brought up about the stipend, and it's a public information. Go and look at him, how much he's charging you guys, for all these remarks which he's making, he's meeting people. It's all this stipend, it's mind blowing. If you look at it, the 21, 22, it's like, I can only just, I have no words for that.
Mr. Trustee, you are talking in the air. Practically, I have not taken even one stipend in validity. Mr. Doug is here. Mr. Doug, can you please? You mentioned many times, but again, he opened his, mouth.
I have the paperwork, all the paperwork.
Okay. So we need a vote?
I think we still have a one more trustee wanna ask questions.
Trustee Siddiqui, you're done, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
He will be never
Doug,
done.
I have a question for you. Other than the closed amount, what is the total amount, including all the lawyer fees and court costs and everything? Do you have an idea? It's gotta be over $500,000.
I don't know if it's that much. It's
Close to it though, I bet.
It's covered
It's
by
over
the
three.
It's covered by the insurance. The attorneys were provided by the insurance, correct?
The attorneys for this case were provided by the insurance company, correct. There's the fees of the investigations that led to everything. We have a $25,000 deductible that we had to pay.
Alright.
Yes.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
All right. If the mayor did this and he insulted this woman and this is why she is suing us, he should be responsible for this. As mayor, I don't feel that anything that he does, we have to pay for. I mean, we have a board up here and we're not, our voices aren't heard. And there's 6 of us, and I feel that if you want to go and insult people, you pay the consequences. We're not going to charge these people that are paying taxes this kind of money. That's a lot of money, George. Don't you agree with me? That's a lot of money to be paying. And if I knew that I had to pay $250,000 for something, boy, I'd shut my mouth.
Yeah, but he don't know why.
Let me-
Tika, Please sit down. Thank
let
you.
me respond. Number one, that case, village of Glendale Heights did not pay, number one. Number two, that case was settled by insurance company. And mayor or village does not have any control. These are 6 idiot people sitting over here. They have no knowledge of
now
law.
we're idiots.
They have no knowledge of law. They are here for personal business.
That's good.
And it's shame on these people who are doing personal business.
And you have a mugshot.
And they are blaming, and they are blaming Mary.
And you are the one with
We
the
really
mugshot.
need to get the business meeting over, please. We need to get,
And they are blaming
vote.
Mary for
No,
everything they
I
are
have
doing.
to-
I am not hiring my family members. I am not hiring my relatives. I am not getting contact from my family or my friends.
Wait a minute,
I am here for the resident.
I wanna say one thing.
Let me ask the
This
residents,
guy,
sorry.
wait a minute, this guy just called us 6 idiots.
Yes, I did.
Am I right?
Yes, you
He,
are.
he has nothing upstairs in his apartment, for number one. Number two is, he's the only guy that flunked the bar exam 22 times. How can you flunk the bar exam 19 times and you call us idiots?
You are idiot.
Huh? Tell me.
okay, we need a
You know
vote.
what?
You got nothing upstairs, pal.
Roll call vote, please.
I don't know that I should be doing this. I've been accused of doing nothing. Which I do something.
I am not saying 1%. I am saying
Trustee Pojek.
7%.
Oh, here we go.
Trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
What am I voting on?
You are voting on an ordinance ratifying the execution of the settlement agreement and release by and between Nicole Lewis and the Village of Glendale Heights.
We have to approve it. The board has to. But it's already been done.
Yes. Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui.
Yes, unfortunately.
Trustee Light.
Yes.
Trustee Meritato.
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2024-13 is approved. Public discussion. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on an agenda item only?
Miss Becky, you were saying you can come now.
Michael,
Oh, Ed Pope, Wayne Avenue. How you doing?
it's like a bit with us now. Ed Pope, Wayne Avenue. My question's for Keith. Keith, it's an easy one, though. Don't worry, I'm not stirring the pot here. But on, I'm sorry, consent agenda 8 about the pool. When I was talking to one of your guys in the fall, they were talking about like these micro cracks and losing water. Will this fix that? And two-part question, will the pool open in time with this painting stuff?
So I can answer question 2 with a yes.
Okay.
Question 1, they're removing the paint, so that this isn't anything to do with any micro cracks or anything of that nature.
So when they remove the paint, will that be like an
So-
interim step to find the leaks?
So this company is only removing the paint. Our staff is gonna repaint and do all the work that they normally do.
Okay, and the pool will open in time?
That's the goal.
That's the goal. Man, I hope so.
Thanks.
Anybody else? None? We have no executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn? Trustee Smith?
Motion to adjourn.
Trustee Light?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui.
Yes.
Trustee Light.
Yes.
Trustee Meritato.
Yes.
Trustee Pojek.
Yes. This meeting is adjourned. Trustee Light, you have the committee of the whole.
All right. All right, I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting for Thursday, February 15th, 2024 to order. Ms. Clerk, will you please know who's present?
Noted.
Does anyone have any additions or deletions to anything?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to address the board since I'm not part of the committee of the whole before we begin, please.
Let me just, anyone else, any more additions, nothing?
He's like,
You good? All right,
Where is he? Flat.
all right.
Where is he? He should be sitting in there. Yeah, he should be. He should. No, I am the elected member. He should be present in there. Why he is leaving? You guys should ask why he is leaving this. Why he is flooding?
Maybe he's resigning.
Yeah, no, he's not going to resign. He's just gonna flood because he has no more.
Let him go.
Are you resigning,
Still going on.
Okay, can we just move on, please?
No. Oh, you are not a king, huh? That I cannot ask you. I can ask you. I am an elected member. I can ask you any questions. You should be sitting over there. You should have a courage to sit. Oh, look at this. Run away, run away, run away. Go and run away. Go and run away.
I do not see
That's
this on the record.
That's all. Go and run away. Go and run
I'm not running
away.
away.
Yes, you are running away. You are a coward person. You are running away. You cannot answer the public.
Alright, let's let the record reflect that the mayor is leaving the meeting, whether or not to resign or not, I
Wait,
have no idea.
Mike, if he's leaving the meeting, he's done for the night. He's not coming back.
Oh, no, he's done for the night.
He's done for the
Yeah,
night.
as far as I'm concerned, he could resign right now.
If he wants to run home, let him go.
Alright, Marie, you asked us.
I would like just to make a statement. First of all, I'm really tired of the demeaning language.
Gentlemen, guys, can I ask you to step out if you're leaving? And if you guys would like to go and talk with them, please go talk with them. I need to have
Again,
this
he's
meeting.
pressuring the police chief.
And take somebody with you.
Yeah.
I am tired of the demeaning language. At a mayor coffee, someone suggested that the mayor take a course to learn how to speak English better. His answer was, we, meaning all of us, do not speak the same as he does. We speak street language, and he speaks academics. I'm sorry, that is demeaning to everyone. He has no idea what any of our backgrounds are. I also want to tell everybody that he gets a script. He does not know how to run the meeting. He is reading a script that someone else writes. It's been almost 2 years. Anybody could go get a parliamentary procedure book and read it. I was here this afternoon getting ready for the meeting, like I do when I can come to the meetings. I was typing up my templates. I come here on Monday, I type them. I do not have any help for my office. My predecessor had 3 office techs. I have none. I do my own typing, my own letter writing, and everything else. I take the minutes. How many of you even knew that I typed them? I've had a trustee tell me they didn't know I did it. And at the last mayor coffee, it was suggested that I am here because of nepotism, because of my husband. I want you to know, and we have a former District 15 teacher here who could tell you, I was on the school board for 20 years before this. I was asked to fill a vacancy when the former village clerk retired. I have been elected every time since 2009. So I also want you to know, I was on the board 3 years before my husband. There is no nepotism for an elected position. I'm sick and tired of being accused of stealing money. My husband was in Oak Brook at a dinner when a trustee from Oak Brook said, I heard your mayor caught your village clerk stealing money. He thought I was going door to door collecting unpaid water bills and keeping the money. I am tired of having him drag me through the mud when I have not done anything wrong. I have not been arrested and I have not been indicted. I do not, nor have I ever had a credit card for the village. I don't even have a budget. I have to ask somebody to order pens for me. I don't have a working budget, or maybe I do and it's like $50 for a year for supplies. I actually bring supplies from home. Does anybody know that? No. You do now. I do not get $50 to go sit at a meeting and look at my phone, nor have I ever been paid to go to any activity on behalf of the village. I'm sick of it, and if he keeps on accusing me of doing nothing, I will do just that. Nothing, except maybe look into getting an attorney. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. All right, I'm gonna go on with, we have no committee recommendations. We got a quick discussion regarding presentation by Andy of Christopher B. Burke Engineering Ltd. on capital project updates. Andy, you wanna come on up?
I think you'll probably be tired after the show.
Don't be scared.
Gladly. Yeah, don't remember, we're all stupid anyway, so just go ahead, we're idiots, so just go ahead and say what you guys say.
Thank you, Andy.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me this evening. I appreciate everybody's time this evening. Tonight I am here representing the village as the village engineer. For those that don't know me in the audience and online, my name is Andy Poufant. I'm with Christopher Burke Engineering. I work very closely with the Public Works Department. I work very close with the Finance Department, the Procurement Office. I work very closely with the Police Department, Community Development Department, as well as the administrative offices. So it's very fun. I really do have a great time. I want to say thank you to everybody's department for their contribution to all these projects. Tonight I'm here to talk about all of the projects that we did in 2023. What we've got on tap for 2024, and then I want to take a little trip down memory lane for all of the grant funding history, just to kind of highlight how successful the village has been securing grant funding for a lot of the village's capital projects. So with that, I'll start on the 2023 projects. As everybody recalls, the village annually completes a street rehabilitation program. Last year we completed nearly $5 million worth of construction work on over 3 miles of roadway and 19 residential streets. The project was completed. Village staff from the Public Works Department did a great job. They did a majority of the construction observation on the project. Christopher Burke Engineering assisted part-time with that. We also did the design engineering, cost estimating, preparing the contracts. We used a sub-consultant to do the environmental testing. We don't do environmental testing in-house. We also did the permitting, utility coordination, as well as helping the project go out to bid. So one of the more robust portions of the design was completed actually on Circle Drive. As you know, Circle Drive kind of encompasses Circle Park there. We got an opportunity to work with the Parks Department on this project. What we identified between Public Works as well as the Parks Department is accessibility. We had sidewalk on the far side of the street, but we didn't have sidewalk leading actually up to the park itself. We worked with the Parks Department and Public Works, and what we were able to do is we actually separated what was the carriage walk that was right along the back of the curb, which is kind of an older design style. What we identified was an opportunity to separate the sidewalk from the roadway system itself. What that did is provided a buffer in between the roadway vehicle cars as well as the pedestrians. So safety aspect, ADA, we got an opportunity to send out letters and to notify the residents along the street of what was coming up. We got a lot of positive feedback, both prior to construction as well as post-construction, about how happy they are with the improvements out there. We were also able to construct a new ADA parking stall for the park, which leads right access to the park, right off of Circle Drive there. And we are also within the new parkway, since we were able to separate the sidewalk from the curb, we were actually able to landscape that and put in some nice brand new trees out there. So hopefully within a few years, those will flourish and we'll have a nice canopy over the street, so.
Thank you.
As far as the storm sewer work, we talked about the roadway work, we also have storm sewer. This project was completed on Jacobson Avenue. We did a storm sewer lining project, and what we were able to do was to utilize, the village has a lot of old corrugated metal pipe out there. And what we were able to do was utilize a technology called cured in place lining. And basically what it does is it uses the old pipe, we basically form a new pipe within it and blow it up and expand it to fit the existing pipe in there. And basically what that allows us to do is to limit the amount of excavation. It limits the amount of disruption to the residents out there. And it also allows us to streamline the actual construction process. We do a lot of planning, we get all the materials ready, and then we do it, and the construction window is actually much, much shorter, opposed to if we were to dig up the pipe, have to remove and replace the driveways, the aprons, the sidewalks, and stuff like that. So this work was completed last summer. It was completed by Michaels Trenchless Technologies. We did a little under 1,300 linear feet of very large diameter, 42 and 48 inch metal pipe underneath Jacobson Avenue. And we were integral in helping the village going out and meet with the contractors, soliciting proposals, making recommendations, and doing the permitting for the job. So again, we had a lot of nice feedback, very little impact to the residents on that project, and we're extending the life of the village's existing infrastructure out there. Norton Avenue and Schubert water main replacement. This project was completed by Jay Congdon last fall. We were able to do the work for a little over $1.7 million. We were able to replace the water main up and down East Schubert Avenue as well as Norton Avenue, and we were able to do a full road rehabilitation on Norton Avenue. The reason why we do these water main projects is because there is a lot of benefits to them. Currently, we try and identify locations that have a high frequency of water main breaks. We try and identify those, so we are improving the reliability of the water out there. We're also bettering the fire protection, improving the water quality, and all those things. So, and as part of that, we replaced brand new hydrants, brand new water services, all new valve vaults and stuff like that. So hopefully, we won't have to address this water main for a long, long time. Similar, we did work on West Fullerton Avenue. We replaced the water main from Schmale Road all the way down to President Street. And this work was also completed by Jay Congdon using the village ARPA funds for a little bit under $1.5 million. This is a testament to the foresight that, of the village to make sure that we are improving all of the utilities prior to doing roadway rehabilitation. As part of the community announcement read by Trustee Schmidt this evening, we know that Fullerton Avenue is going to be resurfaced starting in mid-March this year. What we wanted to do was make sure all of the utilities, the water main, and the storm sewer crossings were in good shape before we put a brand new surface on them. The last thing we wanted to do was have a condition where we had to replace a utility or make a utility repair within a brand new roadway. So. Also, as part of that, we were able to install, we identified a dark spot along West Fullerton Avenue. We worked with Commonwealth Edison to get a brand new light pole along West Fullerton Avenue as well. So. James Court hydraulic study. A few years ago, we were notified by the village and by residents that there was a localized flooding issue along James Court near Pearl Avenue. We were engaged by Public Works staff and by community development to figure out exactly why that location was flooding. We went out and met with the Public Works. We identified exactly how high the floodwaters were in that area. We were able to facilitate and put together a hydraulic model to identify and come up with some design alternatives to alleviate that flooding. And as a result of putting that study together, we were able to go out and solicit some funding available through the DuPage County ARPA funds. And what they were able to do was they actually provided some costs of what started off as $252,000, and we were actually able to go ahead and approach them for about a little over $25,000 more to make their contribution close to $280,000. We were able to alleviate that by installing some additional large diameter storm sewer and piping some of that storm water away from that area. So as you can see from here, we had before pictures of the flooding, and you can see it now afterwards. And with that brand new sewer, hopefully we provided the 10-year flood protection for that area and try and take any sort of flooding concerns away from those residents. North Avenue I&I study. This was a project that we did some manhole rehabilitation. What you're looking at there is the blue structure. You're looking at a gentleman down there spraying the inside of a sanitary sewer manhole. What he's in there doing is he's basically coating the inside of the manhole. And what he's doing is preventing clean water, rainwater, which is called infiltration or inflow, from getting into the sanitary sewer system through the manhole. And basically what that water does is it fills into the sanitary sewer system. It reduces the capacity of the sanitary sewer system, and which ultimately ends up going to your lift stations, pump stations, and then ultimately to your treatment plant. So by eliminating this clean water that's going to your all of your facilities, we're reducing maintenance costs, we're reducing treatment costs, and we're restoring the full capacity of the sanitary sewer system, which will prevent any backups during heavy rain events and stuff like that. So what we have is part of this. In 2023, the village completed a little bit shy of $10 million worth of construction. As part of that, we got approximately almost $3.3 million covered by alternative funding sources. That includes the ARPA funds from the village. So we addressed, as part of that, we addressed the roadway system, the storm sewer system, sanitary sewer system, and the water distribution system. So I think the village is doing a fantastic job addressing all of their infrastructure needs. We've got pictures of Circle Drive, West Fullerton Avenue, and James Court there. Are there any questions on the work that we did in 2023?
Pat?
I don't know if this is combined with what we're doing, but this new construction, do we have anything for a bicycle path on the
We are
roadways?
looking still at that path. There's a feasibility study that we're looking at, and until that's concluded, we're not going to start picking paths out. But we are in design for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Chester?
Andy, you're doing a fantastic job for our village. Keep up the good work, okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bill?
On behalf of the residents on Circle Court and Cambria and James Place, thank you very much for what you're doing, and I'll echo Chester's sentiments. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All I can add is I'm just as impressed. I mean, I've seen the work, I've seen the stuff. You guys have always done well, and the whole engineering firm is fantastic. Thank you.
Great. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
The only thing I could, one more comment, lower your prices.
$10 million, that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It does take a lot of effort, it takes a lot of coordination to make sure that hopefully those go off smoothly, so we appreciate it. As far as what's on tap for 2024, a while back, the village engaged in a company called the Infrastructure Management Services. They put together a pavement management report for the village. That has been used as kind of our Bible to move forward annually with an annual street program for the village, to make sure that we are spending the money in the right place, trying to make sure that we are getting on top of our roadway system infrastructure, putting it in a condition where future maintenance costs become lower and lower and lower. So that is our goal. So we've been using the pavement management system. As part of that, we identified a handful of streets to be considered as part of our 2024 street program to continue with roadway maintenance out there. We're planning a project in the ballpark of $3 to $3.5 million using motor fuel tax money as well as some contributions from the village. We're going to be, not only are we going to be doing some roadway rehabilitation, but we're also going to make sure some water main crossings are all in proper condition. And we've had Public Works has done a very nice job, and they do all of the sewer televising and sewer condition assessments as part of that. And we incorporate those improvements into the project to make sure that everything is in good shape underneath our roadway once we go ahead and do that. We are planning on bidding this project this spring, so that a couple of the streets which are adjacent to schools, we're doing the proper coordination to make sure that we can try and time the construction so that it doesn't impact our school children. Make sure that work is completed hopefully over the summer, and we avoid any major conflict during their high season. So, similar to what we did on Circle Drive, we've identified one more street, which is on Larry Lane. Larry Lane also has the carriage walk. We've identified this street as well to go ahead and separate the sidewalk. We are planning with a nice wide, 8-foot wide parkway. We're also doing it to improve safety out there. Larry Lane is close to one of the schools over there. We want to make sure that anybody, all pedestrians are safe and protected from the motoring public. So it's very similar. You can see what it looks like today on the left and what it'll be, actually even be a little bit wider than the after presentation there. So, and as part of that, we'll have a nice wide parkway that we can build trees. We can work with the village's forester to plant some very nice trees in there that'll one day blossom and, and create that nice canopy for us. So. We talked a little bit about the West Fullerton Avenue project. West Fullerton Avenue is going to be resurfaced from Schmale Road to Bloomingdale Road, as the trustee Schmidt mentioned earlier. Project was awarded to K5 Construction for about $1.7 million. And as part of that, we solicited and secured some surface transportation program funding that's administered through the DuPage County Mayors and Managers. We got almost $900,000 of federal money as a contribution to that project. So nearly about half, or a little over half the amount of money is coming actually directly out of federal dollars. We also are working with DuPage County, and they are putting together an intergovernmental agreement for some cost sharing of the sidewalk on the southwest corner of Bloomingdale Road and West Fullerton. I'm sorry. We do anticipate that the project will start here in mid-March, and weather permitting, we have a completion date of mid-June, so that way we can make sure that Fullerton Avenue is open and ready for the Summerfest. Continuing on with the water main work that we talked about earlier, the village has been very proactive in securing money through the Community Development Block Grant Program. Those are monies that are handed out through DuPage County. They're federal dollars, and they're targeted towards the lower to moderate income areas. And the Jill Court and Maryland Avenue is being recommended, as well as the Cambridge Lane and Westchester Drive. They are going through their recommendations and putting those in front of the county board shortly, and hopefully we will be securing funding. Each of those projects, the potential contribution from the grant funding is $600,000. So if collectively if both of those come through, that'll be about $1.2 million worth of federal funding for the village to install those water mains. So, Fleet Services Building Generator Improvement Project. This project was recently awarded to Power Electric. This is a replacement of the emergency generator at the Fleet Services Building. Public Works approached us and said that they would like to go ahead and there's currently some very long lead times on purchasing generators. And what they offered to do was they offered to go ahead and procure the generator, the automatic transfer switch, and some of the long lead items for that project. They reached out and said, we're going to purchase that, and as part of that, we work that into the contract. So within only a few more weeks, hopefully we'll have delivery by, I think it's early May. We'll be able to start that project, and so we really shortened the timeline on that. Normally those are about 52-week lead times on each of those pieces of equipment. So, and the real benefit of that project is to make sure that we have reliability for in case of emergencies, to make sure that your services are being provided during a case of emergency. So, summarizing 2024 projects, we got about $6.7 to $7.2 million potentially on the books. Of that, we've got about a little over $2 million covered by outside funding sources. So again, that's roughly about almost 30% of the construction costs for these projects are being funded with outside sources. As I mentioned, I'd like to take a little trip down memory lane here. Putting together this presentation really made me think about how successful the village has been securing grants. Since Christopher Burke Engineering was started as the village engineer in 2004, my memory would only take me back to about 2016, so that's kind of where I started. But since 2016, I've got a list of projects here. We have grant funding for the Leslie Lane Relief Sewer. That was another localized flooding concern for residents along Leslie Lane. We secured CDBG funding for the rehabilitation of East Fullerton Avenue. The North Avenue Flood Alleviation Project. I'm sure everybody can recall a time when after a big rain event where the police force had to go out there and mobilize. We had the emergency management services shutting down North Avenue. We put a lot of design and infrastructure in to try and help prevent that. I remember walking through the businesses, putting together proposals, working with FEMA, sending them all of the documentation of the insurance claims from the commercial complex right there. So, knock on wood, since then, I don't think we've had any issues with North Avenue. So, very, very excited about that project. And we also put in the underground stormwater system in the parking lot in that area. So, we've done Gregory Avenue reconstruction, East Branch Tributary 2, put the Salt Creek, the underground stormwater storage project. We've gotten CDBG funding for Gregory Avenue and Somerset Drive. We recently did water main replacement along Glen Hill Drive, Glengarry, Chapman, and Windsor Court. And we've got IEPA Section 319 grant funds for the stabilization of Klein Creek. We got funding from CDBG, FEMA, STP, Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, the DuPage County Water Quality Improvement Program, and the Stormwater Program through DuPage County. Of those projects listed there, they total over $10 million, and of that, almost $6 million was contributions from those funding sources. That's roughly 55% of those construction costs, which frees up money to be spent elsewhere in town. Got some pictures of East Fullerton Avenue, roadway design, water main design, stormwater design as part of the hydraulic study that we completed for the North Avenue Flood Alleviation Project. We did the hydraulic study. We actually did wildlife relocation. We were preserving the wildlife out there. We dredged the pond, traffic control and protection, stormwater design, as well as some construction of some very nice stormwater detention basins off of Second Place and Highland Avenue. East Branch Tributary 2, you can take a look on the left side. You have some pre-construction photos. That's what it looked like the day we started looking at that project. You can see some projects under construction and then the post-construction. I mean, what a drastic change, out there. We were able to plant those things. We got some very nice establishment along all of the banks out there. We were able to merge both a functional aesthetic and a what's what I'm looking for here? It's protecting and being compatible with the adjacent land uses, which is the wildlife in this scenario. So we were also able to do the very similar work along Klein Creek doing the stabilization project up by Mill Pond Drive. Very similar project to the East Branch Tributary 2 project. We've also assisted the village at times with the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System. That's the NPDS program. At various times, we've had to, work and help the village with reporting, whether it's through the various agencies, the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency in DuPage County. We've also done coordination with the U.S. Wildlife and U.S. Fish, the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, Emergency Management Agency, DuPage County, and then the village itself. So we work closely with the community development to start doing some of these things, and we've also had some, unfortunately, some illicit discharge and making sure that we've got some compliance issues, and we are able to. We've got the expertise on staff to help assist with the village in that aspect. So we've covered grants through 2022. We're not going to stop there. The village continues to be very, very proactive. In 2023, we got grant money for James Court, East Schubert and Norton Avenue, as well as we received some funding for a bike and pedestrian plan through the local technical aid agency program through CMAP, and then they're currently wrapping up and trying to finalize their recommendations for a bike and pedestrian plan throughout the village. Further down the pipeline, we've got projects for the West Fullerton Avenue, Joe Court, Maryland, Westchester and Cambridge Drive, President Street, we've got secured STP funding. Armitage Creek, we've got an application into the IEPA for Section 319 grants. We also recently applied for some bank restoration along Lake Becerra. We've got applications for STP funds for Mill Pond Drive and President Street. To date, we've got secured about another $1.8 million, and we've got about another $1.8 million pending on future projects. So, all that to say, historically, the village has been extremely successful in securing grant funding. I'm extremely impressed with the way the village has conducted themselves, the way they've been able to work within their different departments to budget, to plan, come up with all of these. It doesn't, you know, there's been no shortage of time coming from each of the different departments, specifically Public Works, between the phone calls, the emails, the coordination that goes on. Between 2016 and 2023, we raised over $13 million worth of projects and $6.8 million worth of funding. And that additional funding that we're spending from these outside sources can be reallocated to other areas within the community. So I commend the village as a whole on this outstanding achievement. Please know from an engineering firm that does a lot of work with other municipalities that other municipalities are struggling to budget for these projects. They're struggling to address their localized stormwater projects. They're struggling to budget, coming up with the money to make sure that their roads are in proper condition. So I commend each and every one of you guys for your role in pushing these projects forward. Why I think we've been having success? I think we've been having success because we have a long-term relationship with the village. We got a very dynamic, very close relationship with the village. All of our time spent with the village, we have institutional knowledge on each of these job sites. We know that how to work with the village staff. We know where to get the right questions. We know, who to talk to, who to make sure knows about the projects. We've got the coordination ongoing in between all of these departments. We've been able to successfully identify projects that would merit grant funding. We've been very successful in going after these jobs. We've also had a holistic approach and thinking outside the box on some of the solutions. Notably, the Armitage Creek box culvert or the Stevenson Avenue sanitary sewer rehabilitation, where we actually built a pipe inside the old pipe out there, piece by piece, because we didn't want to tear up Bloomingdale Road during the middle of construction or during the middle of winter. And on top of that, at our office, I feel like we have a very diverse group of engineers. We've got mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, civil engineers, environmental engineers, and that ability to kind of just service and keep all of those, any client need in-house is really beneficial. And as a result of all of this work that the village has done, I think it's left and it's put the village in a very good position as far as where all their infrastructure is at, roadway, utilities, storm, sanitary, water, everything like that. So I personally would like to express a heartfelt thank you to the entire village. I can't tell you how many hours I've taken of Rachel's time, whether it's on the phone, sitting in meetings, coordination meetings every other week, talking about all the list of projects that we have going on. I'm very thankful for that. I appreciate all the time. We've had a big role in going after the funds, administering the grants, putting together the designs for the village, overseeing some of them. So it's been a blessing, and I really appreciate it. And I'd just like to say thank you to all you guys. So,
Andy, I just want to say thank you. We've talked before about how many municipalities you guys actually work with, but yet you still make us feel like the most important one to you guys, and I appreciate that because the attention to detail is phenomenal.
Appreciate that.
Phenomenal.
Appreciate that.
Anyone else? You got more?
No, that's it.
All right.
My 5 minutes up? 3 minutes up?
Are you coming next board meeting?
What's that?
Are you coming next board meeting? Because our board meetings are kind of addictive.
Thank you, Andy.
Be happy to come if you'd like me. Thank you, everybody.
All right, number 2 on this one is Cameron Park Soccer Field.
Yes, that's me.
Oh,
I wanted to give a brief update, and I need to come back, and we've run into a problem, so I want to kind of lay out where we're at and what we've done and what we're going to need to proceed. So the Camera Park soccer field, if anybody has been by, is obviously under construction currently. If you haven't been by it, late in the fall, they were able to pull out all of the dirt, and we're basically ready to infill it and get ready to put the turf down. We recently, going through the DuPage stormwater permitting process, came into an issue dealing with the water flow that goes from the field currently to the wetland area that's to the south. The DuPage County stormwater group got together with our staff, with Seabell staff, and the construction management firm. We had a pre-meeting to assess what we would need to get our permit from the county. After much discussion on Monday, we had a meeting with staff and administration, and the permitting for the water flow, the county is requiring us to add 6 additional inches of CA7 stone to the project. Basically, to allow the water to go out at the same rate that it currently goes out, we need to dig 6 inches further down, add 6 more inches of stone, and then we will be good to go to get our permit from the county. To do that, there's a cost to that, and the cost to that is $134,000, $134,541. The process is that we need to get approval from the county. It takes 30 days for their permitting to give us that approval. After we have that, then it would be 3 weeks until we're completed with the project. So I'm here today to look for permission to move forward and bring back a addition to the contract at the next meeting for ratification so that we can keep this going. With that, if we do this the way that we're doing it tonight, we should be able to have the field done by May 1st.
Anyone got any questions? Pat?
Keith, how big is this soccer field?
100 yards by 40 yards.
How much?
100 yards by 40 yards.
And CA6, how much is stone?
CA7.
CA7,
Yeah.
6, 7. How many tons? Do you know how many tons?
They didn't give me an amount. I have a total cost for the project of $134,541.
Yeah, so you know that's a lot of stone.
I also have to dig up
You're in public
yes.
road. I know personally, there's a lot of stone, there's a lot of money for stone.
When we're done, we're going to have 18 inches of stone as the base. We're going from 12 to 18.
I can tell you that our engineers think this is over-engineered, but the county says this is what you're gonna do, and you really don't have much of a choice. Because the water's flowing into a wetland.
So we couldn't put no kind of drainage? Could we put any kind of drainage in there so we don't have to?
They're talking about the runoff pad and controlling the runoff.
runoff?
That's what it's about. Yeah.
It deals directly with the flow from that field to that wetland and to maintain it at the same level it is today.
I wouldn't run this storm sewer.
Got no choice.
I guess.
Do we have a choice?
We don't
Not
have a
really.
choice.
The county is the stormwater, they are responsible for that piece of it, so.
So you're just looking for a direction, do we need a roll call?
We have the funding available for this, so it's not a matter of funding. We have the
Okay.
funding available for it. So it's getting direction so we can get 2 weeks ahead of the game before we bring back the approval. So we can get the project finished by mid-April.
So where the money coming from? Is this from the state or is it from our general fund?
It's already budgeted, isn't it?
It's not already budgeted, but it's money that we have in reserves,
So
mainly from our interest account.
Okay.
No, we gotta do it, I guess.
I'm
We
guessing-
have no choice.
No, that's for sure. No, I'm guessing it's a go ahead, Keith, we're
Okay.
gonna do what we gotta do, we gotta get it done.
Thank you.
There's no doubt about it. All right, moving on to public comment. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on a village-related item? Can you just state name and town?
I'm Rebecca Tiber again, Glendale Heights. And first of all, Chris is here. I need to apologize to you, Chris. I was wrong because Sharon Fonte, who married Sullivan, was in just asked trustee Mohammed Siddiqui to run in her district. And I know that Sharon lives in District 16 as well. So I told Chris that Mohammed did not have District 16 because I was thinking about the southern part of North Avenue, but he does have part of 16, so I was wrong, and I apologize to you, Chris, for making that comment that you didn't know what you were saying, so please forgive me. Okay. Secondly, Marie, I was gonna mention too, I can't believe that he would say something like that he keeps talking to people in Chamber of Commerce's that she's stealing. Marie took over for Joanne Borsowitz, who is making, what, $60-something thousand a year with insurance, with paid vacations, with, all that stuff. She's making 10 times less, no, 6 times less, 5 times less than what she made. And she does not get paid vacation or health insurance or anything else. So the little $10,000 you make a year is nothing compared to what, and yes, she had a full-time secretary too. But anyway, so I don't think he knows this. He doesn't know the history. He doesn't know anything about Glendale Heights, to the best of my knowledge. Anyways, if he was here, I wanted to ask him if his wife had a sister, but since he is not here, I want to just, everybody here that is married, if your spouse's sister, or if you have a spouse or a significant other, do they have a sister or a brother that's married to another person? So, Peter, does your wife have a sister?
Sometimes.
Is she married?
She is.
Okay, so if your wife's sister's husband robbed a bank or beat her up or did something terrible, would you be held accountable for that? For something that your wife's sister's husband did?
In my family, who knows? Maybe.
Okay, well, it just doesn't make sense to me that Chaudhry is blaming Mohammed for something that he has nothing to do with. Mohammed has never had anything to do with cricket, ever, and because he doesn't like Sohel, Sohel's wife is married, Sohel's wife's sister is married to Mohammed. Mohammed has nothing.
Bet, your time was up. I gotta cut you, sorry.
Peggy, I'm used to it, and so does the village of Glendale Heights residents, listening to that cricket, although I remain abstained from both times.
But why should you abstain? You had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
You are not.
So the thing is, I
You are
felt
not related
like
to Sohel. You are related
I felt
to.
like, if I have a minor interest or anything, conflict of interest, I just don't, so that's why.
I'll get you a minute to address all that.
Yeah.
All right.
But thank you, Becky.
All right.
My name is Charles Wozniak. I live at 441 South Highland in Lombard. I am the current owner of Schnitzelplatz Restaurant here in Glendale Heights. And I jotted this down just a little while ago because I was pretty upset about what I heard. I had lunch yesterday with the Addison Police Chief, is Roy Selvik. And he asked me how the police are in this town. And I said, they're fantastic. And he says, it's because you have a phenomenal chief and a great man in Chief Pappas. So I just wanted to let you know that that's what the Addison Police Chief said yesterday. Ms. Schmidt, you do a fantastic job. No one's going to say you don't. All right, I'm sorry. What I was calling up here for is, for several years, I've been trying to get possession of the Glendale Heights Oktoberfest in Camara Park. I've had several meetings I had a meeting with Becky and the old organization about it. And I was just informed the other day that they're going to give it to the old owners, that's Elka Inc. Now, for years, it's been ran by Schnitzelplatz. Schnitzelplatz in Glendale Heights. I got a flyer from 2013 that you guys put out. And it says, brought to you by Schnitzelplatz in Glendale Heights. Right? We're the business in town. We generate revenue every single day for this town. My people are all Bassett trained, which is required in this town. I have a $5,000 liquor license in this town. And I have entertainment license. I have gaming license. I have everything. Now, we all loved Wolfgang. You know, I worked with him every day. I had breakfast with him every morning. He's gone now. It's unfortunate because, like I said, I loved him to death. But his son is now planning on running this, and he is not capable. He worked for me for a couple months. That ended, and I just think I have the right to have the opportunity to run this event. I've taken the restaurant to the next level, and I will take this Oktoberfest to the next level. I currently have 14 people that work for me that have worked at that Oktoberfest. I was the kitchen manager there for 2 years. We know what to do. We won't break rules either. Like I said, all my people are Bassett trained. 3 years ago, the bartender who wasn't Bassett trained was drunk while working and serving alcohol to people who were overserved. Right? The police were called because I was there. I was shocked, and it was taken care of, but that ain't right. The other issue is, because it was ran by Schnitzelplatz for so many years, everything that's wrong with it now, I get blamed. Schnitzelplatz gets blamed. We get hit on social media. We get terrible voicemails about the bad food, about the poor, cheap beer, and it's been happening every year. Now, it's gotten better. The last year wasn't as bad as 2 years ago, but it's not right that Schnitzelplatz has to put up with that. You know, it hurts our business because of the poor effort that they do over there. And they're just trying to save money, I understand, but everything was made in the restaurant for years ago. Now it's frozen schnitzels and the cheapest beer possible. So
If you could just wrap up your 3 minutes.
okay, so I just would like the village, the park district said that they're gonna recommend the old company, which is not with Wolfgang anymore, but I would like the village board, who ultimately has the overall say, to award Schnitzelplatz the Oktoberfest. I've spoke with several board members, and I'm here because they told me to come. The board members I spoke with. And I asked them, I said, if I'm wrong, tell me, I'll drop it. And I was told I'm not wrong by board members.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Epstein, Glendale Heights.
Thank you.
I'm coming on behalf of Queen Bee's School District Superintendent, Dr. Williams. I got a call from him the other day. He indicated that he received a call from some village official and saying that, alleging that he sent me the information with regards to the incident that went on at the school. I'm setting the record straight. He did not, no such thing. I'm the one that contacted him when I was given an anonymous post, and I still have it. I never distributed it. Everything that went out on the media was from news reports and everything else like that. I did contact Dr. Williams. I sent him a text message when I read it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I got it 11 o'clock the night before. I says, do you know about this and what the situation is going on? He actually called me back at 3 o'clock in the morning, letting me know that it's being handled and things like that. So I let him know about it in a text message. I didn't even send him. I only had a 7-second video clip of what actually happened. So somebody in this village is spreading rumors or things like that, trying to blame him for any of the information being leaked out to the other press or anything like that. He had nothing to do with it. I buried it in my phone, the information that I got from an anonymous person. I know who it is because I was the administrator of the group, but that's where it stood and got buried. So wherever the other information came from, please do not blame Dr. Williams for that issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good to see you all and good to see the people. Good to see the people. My name is Martika King, resident of Glendale Heights for 17 years, mental health counselor for over 20. And Doug, you probably remember a few times that we got together with Chaudhry. I was trying to do peaceful counseling negotiations. Didn't work. So what I wanted to say after I left last time, I reflected and thought, could have said something else. Like maybe we should work on, let me read this actually instead of straying. The majority of people in the village, right now in the village, involved in running the village successfully, and in the past, like Linda Jackson, and the board. This is a great group of people I've learned, I've just been an observer really, primarily these past couple of years, because I could never get involved before, just too busy. I think many people are. Have made it very clear, I think, Peter, right? That the will of the people, applaud if you want, is maybe to impeach Mayor President Chaudhry Macoker? Can't? Do you say that? Do you say that, Peter? That we can't? Like we can...
This is your time, Tika.
Okay. Oh, why, thank you. God bless you. So we can supposedly impeach a former president who has done nothing, a current president, and I'm talking constitutionally. Is it within the Constitution, and I'll put it out here on the table, is it within our constitutional powers to be able to impeach a president of this town who has failed this town, obviously? Can we rewrite the Constitution to make what should be right? Do we have the power to do what's right? Constitutionally, we do not have. Peter, are you paying attention?
Always.
Thank you.
That's how I got through school.
Well, I'm questioning some of anyway. So my message is to let's make I meant Glendale Heights great again. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Tika.
Thank you. Thank you, Tika. Anybody else? Oh.
Marietta Britt. Marie, I was at that coffee with the mayor, and that's exactly what happened. So I wanted to back you up on that. Chief, you do an amazing job. Thank you. And to everyone who runs our village, I have no complaints. Yeah, you disagree with people, but when it comes down to it, we have police. We saw all the work that gets done here, and that's all thanks to our village and all of our trustees hard at work. So I just wanted to say, as I said in the last meeting, you have my support. What has happened tonight, I think, is really bad. I would like to see if we can research something where we can recall maybe a mayor going forward. I'm disappointed that our mayor is not here to hear our comments, but $240,000 is a lot of money. And I worked years to try to get our community gardens underway. That would have gone a long way, a long time ago for some gardens. So, but thank you, I just wanted to say that. And Doug needs to be a permanent hire. Thank you.
Miranda, don't leave yet. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I've known you for many years. We worked on the Graver.
Oh, yeah, and you know what? We've always worked very well with each other, so
My question
that other
to you.
comment was
My
terrible.
question to you. Still no. Okay, you answered my question.
All right, once again, Michael Ontiveros, resident. I stand before you as a resident, a business owner in Glendale Heights for almost 24 years now come June. I run a respectable home improvement business and a home inspection business. What you see in front of you is a hardworking, blue-collar guy just trying to make an honest living for myself and for my family. I have here some documentation that shows my licensing as a home inspector with the state of Illinois in current standing. I have here a document from the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation with me in good standing for the home inspection business as well. And I have what I think some people consider to be a useless piece of paper that says I have a home-based occupancy license here given by the Village of Glendale Heights. For the second time within a year, the mayor and a resident, of which I will not name, were at another official village function and have purposely tried to discredit my business, shut down my business, and discredit my character to boot. This is nothing more than a political and personal vendetta. So I'm here today to tell you I am putting the mayor and the Village of Glendale Heights on notice. I will not hesitate to pursue a lawsuit of my own to protect my business and my character if this continues. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to address the board? Are we sure? Bueller, one more, Bueller, all right, we're good. All right, on to, what do we have? Oh, we have no other topics. We'll allow each one of us to have a moment to talk. I was going to invite the mayor to speak first, but he was gracious enough not to stick around, so I'm going to take a quick spot and I'm going to address just a few things and kind of the theme of the evening as we're going. A lot of questions came about tonight. A little bit of anger shot up inside me, and I just had to clarify a few things. My relationship with the mayor, it has not been a wonderful, cozy little thing. He refuses to bring it that far. Our first actual conversation that we had was on August 1st, 2021. It was at a National Night Out here in the parking lot. He couldn't get his point across to me, so he started yelling at me. And after yelling at me, he became angered. He grabbed me by the arm and dragged me across the entire complex to yell some more. I was physically accosted by this gentleman. I was a little bit upset. My first thing was to drop a person that touches me. I couldn't do that. So instead, I did file a police report. There is a police report on file. I never pressed charges because I really didn't want to go that far because I was hoping that I was going to be able to build a relationship with the person that had just started in this. We all now know that it escalated and has taken, it's not gotten any better. It has progressively gotten worse throughout the time. So I'm not seeing anything change. The gentleman, he's got 2 felony charges against him right now that he's fighting for. You have to ask him, when you see him, why did you ask for diversion? He asked for diversion that would help him get out and basically lighten up the sentences. But if he's not guilty of it, then why would you ask for the diversion? And then you have to ask him, why didn't you get it? Because he was turned down for it. He's not going to get it. And it was kind of upsetting, I'm sure, for him. So he says we're all corrupt. We're not corrupt. We are not corrupt, not whatsoever. I've never done a single thing wrong in my entire life. I do know that the rest of these board members stand with me on that, and I don't ever say that they've ever done anything wrong. I know they haven't. I wanted to ask the mayor, what have you done for the village at all? What have you actually done for the village? He will recite something to, I brought in cronyism. I changed this, the banquet hall. No, he didn't do a single one of those things. Us trustees sitting here voted to do those things. So no, he hasn't done a single thing for the village. He claims to have done many things, but once again, we do hold the power to get things accomplished, and we did just that many, many times. And we're still, as you saw, getting stuff done around the village. A lot of project, along with our police department growing and with truck enforcement, we're on top of a lot of different things. The $247,000 for this lawsuit that was just finished, that is just the beginning. Do you realize as residents, you are going to be paying for the next 4 to 5 years with an insurance increase that's going to be astronomical? And you're going to be paying this for a very long time. He won't even be here, and you'll still be paying for his actions. It's sad to say, but sorry, you guys will get the brunt of all of this. I do know the fact that election fraud had taken place, that he willingly put people in places that should not have been there, and tried to guide them the best he could. I felt bad for the people that he was guiding because he soon quickly turned on them and told them, if you would have listened to me, you would have won. That's what he said to me. They would have won if he would have listened to me. This is just one of the first few lawsuits that are coming around, and I'm just shocked by all the lawsuits that are going to be starting to fly. There are so many lies that come from this gentleman's mouth. And his attack on me, myself, and my wife has been fueled by lies, misguided information, and manipulation. I'm an open book. Ask me a question at any point in time, I'll give you an answer. Don't lie. Don't lie nor attack me nor my family, ever. I will sit there and I'll have a conversation with you if you've got allegations against me or anyone else. So please, just take note. I'm an open book. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you. Okay, can I go? Let's do a bill.
Okay, I do want to make a statement. First of all, Mariette, there is no recall of municipal officials in the state of Illinois. There was a bill advanced in the legislature, proposed in the legislature, I want to say 2016, 2017, which was referred to committee and conveniently died in committee. So once you elect them, you're stuck with them unless there are extenuating circumstances. My wife and I served on the Marquardt 15 school board. I think we were on there for 11 years together. She served for 22 years, I was 13 years, but we were on there together, and at no time did anybody raise a question about nepotism or the fact that I permitted her to, or didn't want her to come to meetings. As a matter of fact, she was board president, and I don't know, 16 years or so. But, there was never any question of our character raised at that time, and I don't see why there should be any now. Nothing has changed. We're still the same people as we were before. She works hard, she works at home, she comes in when something needs to be done, and for somebody who is ignorant of the functions of the village clerk or village collector to spout off the way he does, it's unconscionable. But remember, he was elected by 2 votes. The majority of the village elected him by 2 votes. How that constitutes the majority of the village, I don't understand. But if you look at the election records, I would bet Marie got more votes than he did, and that sticks in his craw. But anyway, that's about all I have to say. Marie, I think you're doing a good job, so thank you.
Mohammed.
All right, first of all, I want to say, Bill and Light, welcome to the club, wife eating club, whatever you call it. I've been getting that remarks since the beginning. One thing which I want to address this board and to you guys is that, he can accuse me or he can say, I really don't care because I get used to it. And if you ask him why there is a war in Ukraine going on, it's probably Trustee Siddiqui, cricket, Suhail Bari, that's his answer. So, because of his limitation in his thinking, maybe that's why he's doing. But one thing which I noticed in the last board meeting, when he's creating this race issue, and I want to address that, as you can see, I am also a person, with brown color, or you call it, although I don't believe in that. When I came to America, I believe on one thing, which is hardworking, and America believes in that. And the beauty of America is this: all he asks you is go and work hard, and I will pay you, even though you don't get the reward right away, but eventually you will get it. And that's why you will see a lot of immigrants which comes here, which makes this great country their home. They are doing great. I mean, I literally could not thank enough to America, which provides me and my children the things which I really don't have it at my country, and I feel grateful. But when I see Mr. Coker trying to use his race and accuse all these board members and the employees as well, that they are just treating him because of his color, that is nothing but a lie. I get along with all of them. I get along with the employees, with our police chief. Not in a single day or a moment of a single minute I felt that I was treated differently just because of my color. And that thing, I just want to make sure that we don't talk about that in this village, because that's the talk of losers. If a person could not do anything, they always bring up those things. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in your hard working, you won't believe, you won't get these kind of lame excuses when you are unable to do your job. And today's behavior, you can see how he lashes out and how he goes first he says 6, then, sorry, Marie, he included you also. And I learn a lot from Marie. I mean, she is the knowledge of, she's been doing great job and she's been here for so long. And a newbie like myself, when I come here, she's always guiding me, which I'm very thankful to her, that, she always say, oh no, this is what the policy said, this is what, and I always learn from her. And I really felt really bad when he accuses her that stealing money. I mean, the choices of word could have been better, but he just come directly and insult you, and this is what has been going on for the last 3 years in this village. So I hope he will change, and I hope, he starts acting more like a village mayor versus, seems to me like I'm going back to even a 5th grader where, we are accusing each other of fighting. But anyhow, I just want to say that about this. Other than that, thank you.
Thank you.
Pat? First of all, I'm probably darker than both of you.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's because you golf.
And that note, the man sat here tonight and called us corrupt, we're crooks, and we're idiots. Now, the only idiot just left. What I have to say is this guy has no credibility with anyone. He sits there, makes accusations that all his board were all crooks. We had 5 investigations that he wanted to show that we were crooks. All came out 0. Nothing. That's what it came out to. So on that note, I'm just going to say that nobody on this board has their face on the front page of the Daily Herald. Not once, but twice.
Channel 9.
And Channel 9. And he calls us crooks and idiots. So, I'm done.
Chester?
One thing I gotta say, what that indicted mayor mentioned, the gift card that I got from Kai's. I won that at a raffle. The Glendale Heights Car Show.
Yes,
Right,
did.
Mike?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
That's how much the man knows. He don't know nothing. I've said this to him before. You can't erase stupidity. And it's a known fact. There's something wrong with that man. When I got sworn in with Mohammed, myself, and Coker was sworn in at that time. He wasn't indicted then, but he is now. Right after we were sworn in, Mr. Siddiqui came up to me and put his arm around me and says, Chester, I hardly knew him at the time. We are deeply in trouble with this man. And I tell you, it got worse and worse and worse, and it's never gonna stop until he is out of this place. That's all I got to say.
Okay, you woke me up. Mary?
Well, now I'm last, so I'm going to tell you a little story. When he first came into our office, I was very, very good to him. I originally I thought Mike was going to be our mayor, and I called Mike and congratulated him. When Mike didn't make it, I was very sorry that he didn't, but when this gentleman did, I thought, well, he's our mayor, I'm going to support him, I'm going to respect him, and I really tried. We had many, many long conversations, but then I could see what was going on. The man was turning around, and I said to him, because I felt so close to him, I said, you know, you're goofing up. I said, you're losing all the good people in this village. I mean, Mike Marin left us, Becky left us, Nicole left us, Joanne left us, everybody was leaving us. I said, you're doing something wrong, and I'm not going to support you any longer. Now, with all these suits that he's come up with, I don't really feel it's fair that you, as well as us, are paying for this. This man should pay his own debts. I don't know why we can't have an ordinance where the mayor just can't say whatever he wants and we pay for it. This to me is wrong. The six of us have worked very, very hard in this village. We want things right. Now we're being ridiculed. People are laughing us, and I'm not happy about this because we've always been a growing community, and this is the way we want to continue. When I see these people arguing all the time, I'm so embarrassed for us as well as for you. What kind of a village are we running? But we're only arguing because we're trying to help you as well as ourselves. This village has never been in such bad shape. As for our police department, George, you know how much I think you are so wonderful. When George was first elected, you know, I said to him, please, George, stay with us because we needed him. And he really followed through, and he's followed through in all these years. No matter what the mayor has said or done to him, he's always there for us, and we really appreciate you. You are so wonderful in so many different ways, George. I can't say enough nice things about you. But the board is really a good board. So if sometimes we're not doing our job, it's because our hands are tied. It's not because we're not trying. We can only do so much. So I want to thank you for putting up with us, and there's going to come to an end eventually, we hope. Thank you.
May I just answer something, and Peter may be able to back this up. I did talk to an attorney, not Peter, or this is a separate attorney who does employment. And the question that was asked is, does he report to anyone? And I said, well, no, he and I are at the top of the organizational chart, right below the residents. And the next question was, well, he doesn't report to anybody if he does something. In the state of Illinois, there is some really bizarre law that if you don't report to someone, you cannot be held responsible. You could say whatever you want, and no one can hold you responsible for it. However, as a board member, you're held responsible for what you say.
Right.
So that's what I was told by an attorney.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Chester?
Well, you already seconded.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No? Meeting's adjourned.